Now we can talk about AWS. What is AWS? AWS, Amazon Web Services, is a cloud computing platform provided by the Amazon that offers a wide range of services such as computing power, storage, and the networking capabilities. What is EC2 in AWS? EC2, Elastic Compute Cloud, allow user to rent the virtual server in the cloud, providing the scalable computing capabilities. What is S3 bucket? S3 simple storage service is an object storage service designed to store and then retrieve any amount of data from anywhere on the web. What is IAM in the AWS? IAM, identity and then access management, allow users to manage the access to AWS services and this, resources securely. What are the main benefits of AWS? Scalability, flexibility, cost effectiveness, high availability, and then global reach are key benefits of AWS. What is the difference between S3 bucket and then EBS? S3 is object storage service and unstructured data. EBS, Elastic Block Storage, provide block level storage for EC2 instance. What is VPC in the AWS? VPC, Virtual Private Cloud, is a logically isolated section of the AWS cloud where users can launch AWS resources in a virtual network. What is AWS Lambda? AWS Lambda is a serverless compute service that run code in a response to event without provisioning or managing the service servers. What is CloudFormation? CloudFormation is a service that provide infrastructure as a code, allowing users to define and provisioning AWS resources using template. What is RDS in the AWS? Relational Database Service is a managed relational database service supporting various database engines like MySQL, PostgreSQL, and Oracle. What is the purpose of AWS Cloud Trail? AWS Cloud Trail enable the governance, compliance, and operational auditing by logging AWS account activity. What is Route 53? Route 53 is a scalable domain name system and a domain name registration service. What are a security group in the AWS? Security groups acts as a virtual firewall that control inbound and then outbound traffic for AWS resources. What is the use of AWS Direct Connect? Direct Connect provides a dedicated network connection from your premises to AWS, enhancing the bandwidth and reducing the cost. What is the AWS Elastic Load Balancer? ELB automatically distribute incoming application traffic across multiple targets, improving the fault tolerant. What is the difference between public and then private subnets? Public subnets are accessible from the internet, while the private subnets are not directly reachable from the internet. What is the AWS global infrastructure? The AWS global infrastructure consists of region and then availability zones, providing high availability and then redundancy. What is auto scaling? Auto scaling automatically adjust the number of resource EC2 instances in response to demand, ensuring optional resources are used. What is NAT gateway? A NAT gateway allows instances in a private subnet to connect to the internet while preventing unsolicited inbound traffic. What is AWS organization? AWS organization allow the users to manage the multiple AWS accounts centrally, enabling the consolidated billing and then policies. What is AWS SQS? SQS, a simple queue service, is a fully managed messaging queue service that enables the decoupling of application component. What is the purpose of AWS CloudWatch? AWS CloudWatch monitors AWS resources and then applications, providing insights into the performance and then operational health. What is a subnet in the AWS? A subnet is a range of IP address in VPC that can host AWS resources. What is AWS KMS? KMS, key management service, is used to create and manage the cryptographic keys for securing the data. What is an AMI in the AWS? AMI, Amazon Mission Imaging, is a pre-configured template that contains the operating system and application software for launching EC2 instances. What is AWS CloudFront? CloudFront is a content delivery network that delivers data, video, and then applications with low latency. What is the purpose of AWS Elastic Beanstalk? Elastic Beanstalk is a platform as a service that simplifies the deployment and management of applications. What are AWS availability zones? Availability zones are isolated locations within a region designed to provide the high availability and then fault tolerant. What is the AWS well architecture framework? It is a set of best practices for designing and then operating reliable, secure, efficient, and then cost-effective system in the cloud. What is Amazon DynamoDB? DynamoDB is a fully managed NoSQL database service that provides the fast and then predictable performance with the seamless scalability. What is AWS Code Pipeline? Code Pipeline is a continuous integration and then continuous delivery service that automates the build, test, and then release process. What is AWS Cloud 9? AWS Cloud 9 is a cloud-based integrated development environment that allows you to write, run, and then debug code. What is Amazon Redshift? Redshift is a fully managed data warehouse service that enables a fast querying and then analyzing of large data sets. What is the use of AWS Config? AWS Config monitors and records the resources configuration for compliance, auditing, and then security analysis. What is load balancer? Load balancer is distributed incoming application traffic across multiple target, improving application availability. What is the difference between the EBS and then S3? EBS is a block storage for EC2 instances, while S3 is object for unstructured data. What is the role of AWS SDK? SDK provides a set of tools for developers to integrate the AWS services into the application. What is AWS X-Ray? AWS X-Ray helps developers to analyze and then debug the distributed applications, providing insights into the performance and then issues. What is Amazon Aurora? Aurora is a MySQL and then Postgres SQL compatible relational database service that offers the high performance and then availability. What is the AWS free tier? The free tier allows users to explore and use the AWS services for free for a limited time and with the specific usage limits. What is the difference between vertical and then horizontal scaling? Vertical scaling adds resources to the single instances, while horizontal scaling adds more instances to the increased load. What is the AWS backup? AWS backup is a centralized backup service for automating and centralizing the backup across AWS services. What is Amazon Lightsail? Lightsail is a simplified cloud platform for deploying and then managing the applications and the virtual private server. What is the Amazon Elastic File System (EFS)? EFS is a scalable file storage service for use with the AWS cloud services and on-premises. What is the Amazon Saga Maker? Saga Maker is a fully managed service that enable the developers to build, train, and deploy the machine learning model. What is AWS Data Pipeline? Data Pipeline is a web service for processing and then moving the data between the AWS compute and then storage service. What is the purpose of AWS Inspector? AWS Inspector assess applications for vulnerabilities and then deviations from the best practices. What is the AWS Step Function? Step Functions is a serverless orchestration service for coordinating microservices and then distributed applications. What is Amazon QuickSight? QuickSight is a business analytics service for building the visualization and then database the dashboard from data. What is Trusted Advisor? Trusted Advisor provide real-time guidance to help provision resource following AWS best practices. What is AWS Snowball? Snowball is a data transport solution that uses secure devices to large scale to transfer the large amount of data into and then out of AWS. What is Amazon Elastic Container Service? ECS is a fully managed container orchestration service for deploying, managing, and then scaling the Docker containers. What is the purpose of AWS CLI? AWS CLI allow the users to interact with the AWS services using the command line instruction. What is the Amazon EC2 Spot instances? Spot instances are space EC2 capacity that is available at a discount price. What is AWS Code Deploy? Code Deploy automates the deployment of the application to the EC2 instances and the on-premises server. What is AWS AppSync? AppSync is a managed service that manage it's easy to build the GraphQL API that automatically updates the data. What is Amazon Kinesis? Kinesis is a platform for streaming data on the AWS for real-time processing and then analysis. What is AWS Edge? AWS Edge allows you to run the code in the response to CloudFront events, customizing the content delivery to the users. AWS is an AWS region. What is AWS region? An AWS region is a physical location where the AWS has multiple availability zones to provide the fault tolerance. What is the AWS well-architected tool? AWS well-architected tool help review the state of the work and then compare them to the best practices. What is the AWS Marketplace? Yeah, the Marketplace is an online store for buying and then selling the software that runs on the AWS. What is the purpose of AWS Resource Graph? Yeah, Resource Graph allows the user to manage and automate the task across the multiple AWS resources. What is AWS Cognito? Cognito is a user authentication and identity management server that provides the secure access to the applications. What is AWS Glue Data Catalog? The data catalog is a presented metadata store for all your data assets, making them searchable and then manageable. What is the difference between EFS and then EBS? EFS provides a software file system accessible by the multiple instances, while EBS provides the blocks level storage for individual instances. What is AWS Outpost? Outpost brings the AWS infrastructure and then services to a virtually any data center, co-location space, or on-premises facility. What is Amazon Elastic Interface Inference? Elastic Inference allows the user to attach the low-cost GPU-powered inferences acceleration to the EC2 instances. What is the purpose of AWS DMS? Data Management Migration Services (DMS) helps migrate the data base to the AWS easily and then securely. What is the AWS Service Catalog? The Service Catalog allows the organization to create and then manage the approved catalog of resources. What is AWS Fargate? Fargate is a serverless compute engine for containers that allow the user to containers without managing the servers. What is the AWS Elastic Bean Stack CLI? Elastic Bean Stack CLI is a command line tool for managing the Elastic Bean application and then environment. What is the AWS Certificate Manager? It manages SSL TSL certificate for AWS based website and then applications. What is Amazon Elastic Kubernetes Services EKS? EKS is a managed service running in the Kubernetes on the AWS. What is the purpose of AWS Glue? Glue is a fully managed ETL services for preparing the data analytics. Okay. What is the AWS WAF? WAF is a web application firewall that helps to protect web applications from common exploits. What is the difference between the cluster and then local load balancer? A cluster is a group of server work together, while a load balancer distributes the traffic across the multiple servers. What is the virtual private network in the AWS? VPN allows you to connect your on-premises network securely to your VPC. What is Amazon Elastic Map Reducer? EMR is a cloud big data platform that allow the user to process and analyze vast amount of data using the Apache Hadoop. What is the AWS Cloud Star Code Star? Uh, Co- CodeStar is a development service that provides a unified user interface to manage servers software development activities. What is the use of Amazon FSx? FSx provides fully managed native Windows file system and other file systems for use with the AWS services. What is the AWS Compute Optimizer? It recommends optimal AWS resources for your workloads to reduce the cost and then improve performance. What is the AWS well-architected review? It is a process to evaluate the improve the design of AWS workloads based on the AWS best practices. AWS Secrets Manager. AWS Secrets Manager helps protect access to the application services and IT resources without upfront investment and ongoing maintenance. AWS Cloud Search. Cloud Search is a managed service that makes it easy to set up, manage, and then scale a search solution. What is the purpose of AWS Glue jobs? AWS Glue jobs are used to run the ETL task in a Glue service, allowing user to transform data from one format to the another format. What is the Amazon Transcribe? Transcribe is a speech recognition service that automatically converts the speech into the text. What is the Amazon Recognition? Recognition is a software that allows the add images and then video analysis to application using the machine learning. What is the AWS CloudFormation stack? A stack is a collection of AWS resources that you can create, manage, and then as a single unit using the CloudFormation. What is the difference between the backup and then snapshot? A backup is a copy of data, while a snapshot is a point in time copy of entire disk or volume. AWS RoboMaker. RoboMaker is a service that provides the tools to develop and test and deploy the robotic application. What is the ECR? ECR is a fully managed Docker container registry for storing, managing, and then deploying the Docker container images. What is the AWS Storage Gateway? AWS Storage Gateway is a hybrid cloud storage service that connects on-premises environment with the AWS cloud storage. What is Amazon Connect? Cloud-based contact and center service that helps the business deliver better customer service. What is Amazon QuickSight Queue? Queue is a natural language query tool that allow the user to ask questions about their data and then quick answers. What is the AWS Lambda function? Lambda function is a small piece of code that runs in the response to the event and is fully managed by the AWS. What is Amazon AppFlow? AppFlow is a fully managed integration service that allow you to securely transfer the data between the AWS services and then SaaS applications. What is AWS IoT Core? IoT Core is a managed cloud service that enable the connected devices to interact easily and then secure with cloud applications. What is Amazon Pinpoint? Pinpoint is a customer engagement service that allow the businesses to send targeted messages to users. What is AWS Cloud Shell? Cloud Shell is a browser-based shell that provides a command line interface for manage AWS resources. What is AWS Event Bridge? AWS Event Bridge is a serverless event bus that connects application data from our applications, integrated SaaS applications, and then AWS services.